I came away yesterday feeling really excited about the next 3 months, really looking forward to it. Already, it's made me think about things, and I think it's going to be a huge benefit. My background was all HR, recruitment, and some counselling as well.
Yeah.
And I can see how it can touch on all of those.
I was so excited. I was on the phone with Jackie right after because I remember when she did the program before, she was just so extra happy and I wasn't sure what it was. And so I now understand the after effect of your classes. So that was fun.
Thank you. Okay, Jackie, what did you take away?
Just a confirmation of everything that I thought before and I've told people before, and it just solidifies what I'm already doing, and just know that there's still so much for me to learn and grow into.
I've started to be more patient and listen to my staff.
Okay, remember, we don't want a shocking personality transplant. We're doing it very gentle. Okay, thank you.
So I'm really excited about the potential for NLP. Sitting in the class yesterday, I started to realize how much I can use this not only for business, but for like life in general. And so it really got me excited.
Yes, I was really excited. I also felt really inspired today because I've been having a hard time trying to write to contacts on LinkedIn. And then this morning I thought, look, I'll just be playful about it. And the fun you were talking about yesterday, I'm really excited about learning. And so I was looking at, how do I frame this and how do I say this? How do I say what I want so that it comes across not salesy, but in a really good kind of authentic manner. So I had some fun, and it motivated me to get cracking.
Listening to the meta model, I think that what helps, if I understood well, it will be amazing in life.
We focused back onto the video of you working with Jackie last weekend to hone down, narrow down her meaningful outcomes and the plan. And her language through that was full of modal operators as she described what she has done through that process in the last 2 weeks or so to get to the point she's at today.
Yeah.
Jackie is really deeply emotionally connected in her plan and an immense clarity, which you can see all the senses just ringing out around her.
Yeah. And we actually saw Jackie's physiology change on that goal setting session when she suddenly went, I'm totally clear now. And it's almost like firing up an internal engine. And that internal engine will take people through whatever challenges they get. And it's often just by shifting and listening to modal operators. So how are you getting on with your goal setting?
Oh, so let me tell you.
This is what we like to see.
Since we've done that little exercise, I can't even explain to you how much I have gone so deep and wide in my business in order to set the goals, my revenue plan, and then from there, I'm working backward. And it's so beautiful to see everything coming into place and exactly what I need to do to get where I need to. It's beautiful.
I was being bullied at work by a senior manager, which basically led to me going on sick leave, and I had near nervous breakdown. And the company wanted me to come back into work, even though I was going to leave, and they were going to pay me a lump sum of money. They actually wanted me to take this to tribunal, but I decided not to for lots of reasons. But when I came back into work, they said that what they put in place was that the senior manager could not come nearer to me than 20 foot. So we had an open plan office, and he used to circle round that 20-foot perimeter. And I happened to hear a little story on the radio coming into work in the morning, and it was talking about somebody who was really being troubled by somebody. What they did, and this was, as Fiona said, this is before NLP days, but when I came into the NLP world, I recognized that actually this was exactly what it is, that they basically shrunk this person down to about a foot high, and they gave this person a really squeaky voice and put funny clothes on. And so every time they saw that person, he didn't become that real big sort of, oh, I'm so scared of him person. I tried it out. I shrunk this guy down in my mind and gave him a funny voice. And I was able to get up off my chair and walk to the cloakroom. And I walked right past him within about a foot. And I just walked with my head up high, because suddenly he didn't become that person that I built it up in my mind. And that was the power of being able to imagine this person in a lot smaller object. And then when, of course, I learned all about it.
That whole concept of time, absolutely spot on, because I did it this morning and I had something to do. There were two issues here. A, I didn't know why I didn't want to do it. And B, the excuse was I always needed time. I didn't have time to do it. Change of state and the time statement, and it's done.
I had a presentation, and as I was going through some of the recordings, you had mentioned different aspects of chunking and how the brain processes information. So I incorporated that into the presentation, which made it a lot more fluid and I guess concise. So before preparing for the presentation, I was a little nervous, so I used some of this submodality training that you use, the VAK, and changed the situation so that I was more confident. So I did the little slingshot thing that you did, changed my mindset, and I was able to go in with confidence.
How cool is that? Could you actually feel the physiology change when you did it?
I did.
I found myself listening in a different way to conversations and watching people. And I've done quite a few CV reviews, particularly in the last week or so. And when I was asking questions, it's much easier on Zoom, I think, to watch their eyes and where they're looking from. So I found that quite interesting. One person, and what was really interesting is their eyes only moved from side to side. It never went up and they never went down. So they must have been so auditory. And it was literally just side to side. And I would never have noticed that before.
So what difference did that make for you as a recruitment professional, watching and noticing that?
I started to moderate my language and use more auditory words. So I hear what you're saying. How did that sound? And in using that. And it did help the conversation because I wasn't then having to explain the question again.
Doing reframing a lot, not just with my colleague, just last night actually, and with my client, because one of his key employees resigned and he called me immediately in a panic. So then we just went through some reframing language to get him to come and let him, and that allowed him to see that this is an opportunity for him to really get this position the way he wants, the right person in the position, and train them properly. So it's actually an opportunity to move his company forward.